आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
You can keep talking about the numbers or you can talk about the reality. Yes, we're all proud when we are told that we are growing by 8% in Q2 FY 25-26. We're very happy when we are told we are going to be the world's fastest growing economy. But, ladies and gentlemen, while all this happens, what about us? What about Yuvraj Mehta? He was 27-year-old, ladies and gentlemen. He drove into a ditch 500 meters away from his house in Greater Noida Sector 150. Ladies and gentlemen, there was thick fog and the authorities forgot, or rather did not have any barricade around an open ditch. This is the least the government can do. This is the least the local administration can do. The young man ended up driving his car in thick fog right into a pit with about 30 feet of water. He called his father and said, "Please save me, I don't want to die." But it was too late, ladies and gentlemen. By the time his body was recovered, it was 4:30 in the morning, and he was no more. And it is on occasions like this that we must step back and ask ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, could something like this happen to us? Could we be the next victims? Will we keep on celebrating how well we are doing while not looking at the reality of what is happening on the ground? And the moment I start talking about the reality of what is happening on the ground, the problem is some people will say, "Oh, you're speaking against BJP, you're speaking against government." No, don't make that mistake. I'm speaking for the people. You think the people of this country are not frustrated when they see a 6-month-old infant killed because of contaminated water, because toilet water mixes with drinking water? 6-month-old dies, 13 people die. And the minister concerned uses bad language with the media which questions them. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that the people of this country are not angry when things like this happen? When sewage water mixes up with drinking water? Ladies and gentlemen, it's all right to say, yo, we are a country with a GDP of 4.18 trillion. And to say, no, we're crossing Japan. We're going to be bigger than Germany. But ladies and gentlemen, all very good, fantastic, keep celebrating. But do not look away when Republic tells you that there are pigeon droppings and there is garbage in the KD Jadhav Stadium, that it has been embarrassing what happened last week and what has been happening over the last few days. Monkeys roaming around in an international sporting venue. Monkeys roaming around freely. Foreign players making fun of the facilities, or rather lack of facilities. And here we are, we're going to celebrate, we're going to send the largest ever contingent to Davos. But we're not going to look at the reality of what's happening in the country. The moment I ask these questions, some people will say, "Oh, you're questioning the government." No, don't be ridiculous. I'm speaking for the people. The people are fed up with this. Ladies and gentlemen, we are told, no, only talk about how tech-based AI giants are pledging $60-70 billion. Well, very good. I'm very happy. But can't we have both? Can't we have the investment and not the kind of chaos that we saw during Indigo? Has Indigo given an answer till now? We want to see this at the situation in our airports. We want people to sloganeer their way out of airports. Ladies and gentlemen, is there any action against these airlines? No. You're going to instead allow Indigo to fly Turkish planes on Indian sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm only telling you the reality. People want progress. Progress for the people. Hashtag progress for the people. Progress not just in statistics. Progress not just in data. Progress not just in press releases. You say you put a press release saying we have given 3,794 crores to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports last year. But look at this. What happened to the 15-year-old Hardik Rath practicing basketball in the court? During his practice session, he aimed a powerful shot where he jumped, controlling the ball above the rim and trying to aim it directly through the hoop. But at that very moment, the hoop fell and the pole fell, killing him. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, when this happened on the 25th of November, 2025, is this progress for the people? Is this progress for the people? The place of this accident was the basketball court at the district's Lakhan Majra village in Rohtak district of Haryana. 15-year-old national level player died. Where is progress for the people? Don't show me progress of numbers. Don't tell me we have got FDI of 51 billion. Don't expect me to do a hagiography. Don't expect me to say, well, great, well done, fantastic. I'm going to still talk about the IGI roof collapse at Delhi airport. I'm still going to talk about it, where a 45-year-old driver, cab driver doing his honest job, was killed because there was pressure of rainwater accumulated on the roof. Ladies and gentlemen, if a taxi driver dies because the roof collapses, tell me where else in the world do things like this happen? And if you say, yeah, it happens all around the world, even so, I will say, why should we keep up with it? You see, this is happening too often. And we are being thrown statistics. Statistics are not the answer. We are told healthcare system is growing at 17-20%. Fantastic. Private healthcare companies are making money. Hospitals, private hospitals are making money. But great. So let's say, oh, we got a lot of foreign investors coming in to pump in money into the healthcare sector. But is that really the growth of the healthcare sector? When I show the pictures from Gonda, this is the reality of the healthcare sector in this country. This is the visuals from Gonda, Uttar Pradesh, orthopedic ward. Dozens of rats are climbing on the bed where patients lay asleep. Rats are on the bed, on the drip, jumping over the sleeping patients and all over the hospital floor. And I'm told, no, don't talk about all this. Rats freely roaming in a government orthopedic ward. And I'm said, no, don't talk about it. I will talk about it because we want progress for the people. I have no problem with statistical progress, but statistical progress has to be accompanied with progress for the people. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be clear, the people of India are not flying first class all the time. The people of India are experiencing this. The people of India are feeling this. And I would always say there must never be a gap between statistical progress and progress for the people. There has to be a closer match between the two. Yes, I do believe there will be a domino effect. Over a period of time, there will be a trickle-down effect. But for how long? How long will that trickle-down take? Till then, will we put up with rats in hospitals? Till that, will we put up with basketball players dying, with basketball hoops and rods falling over them? Till then, will we put up with what happened during Indigo? Till then, will be put up with what we saw, a 27-year-old techie who dies, his car goes into a ditch because someone in the government couldn't care. And everything is not compensation. You can't compensate for hurt, trauma, and lives. Bihar, we are told, has been given 9.23 lakh crores in the last decade. But I still saw the visuals of a 1,700 crore rupee under construction bridge between two pillars collapsing with full force into the water. Is this progress for the people? That 1,700 crores spent on that bridge was paid for by you and me. This happened on the 4th of June, 2023 in Bhagalpur, Bihar. You'll say you're picking up a 2-3-year-old incident. No, I picked up Morbi too. I picked up what happened in Gujarat. I'm saying this is government, not government money. This is taxpayer money. And at some point of time, this question will have to be answered. We will have to think about the stories we put on the inside pages and ask ourselves whether we have the courage to put it on the front page. We will have to ask ourselves, are we more concerned, ladies and gentlemen, about Greenland or Greater Noida? We'll have to be more concerned, whether we are more concerned about what happens in Bihar or Venezuela. We're going to have to think whether we are more concerned about what happens in Iran or Gonda, Uttar Pradesh. We cannot be in our own urban bubble anymore. This country has to grow, but the people of the country must have better opportunities with it. And those opportunities are within our reach. All we have to do is raise our voice a little bit more. We must. Progress for the people. Let's debate.
In Noida, a city known for its thriving technology and industrial sector, a 27-year-old techie drowned to death. Minutes away from his house, Yuvraj Mehta's car fell into a water-filled ditch due to poor lighting amid dense fog. For hours, He kept crying for help. Watch as he flashed his torchlight, hoping to get attention. Officials kept watching, tried to help, but to no avail. They didn't even know how to react. Hours later, Yuvraj went down with his car. So clueless that citizens exposed them.
मैंने मलबा डाल दिया ताकि ये बचा पाए। अभी मलबा डाला है, ये तो सब ये तो सिर्फ एक दिखावा है। जैसे अभी 2 घंटा पहले डाला है।
अभी मलबा डाल के खाना पूर्ति करी जा रही है ताकि बात हल्की हो जाए।
और गाड़ी भी नहीं निकली अभी तो।
गाड़ी भी अभी अंदर है,
वो भी अंदर है।
डाइवर्जन का बोर्ड भी अभी लाके लगा रहे थे वो। अब ये बिल्डर और प्रशासन की मिला भगत है क्या है किसी को नहीं पता।
Letters with Republic show warning by residents was ignored. Concerns were raised regarding poor lighting were flagged 6 months ago.
This is the exact spot where Yuvraj Mehta's car hit the drainage wall and plunged into the ditch, triggering an ordeal that has left more questions than answers. Serious concerns are being raised over the absence of barricades, reflectors or warning lights near the pit. Local residents say that they had flagged poor lighting in the area as far back as July last year, but their complaints were ignored. Questions are also being asked about why the rescue teams at the scene lacked the proper equipment, forcing Yuvraj to wait for an hour before the help could reach him.
Yuvraj's death is just one example of negligence. Pothole deaths continue on Indian roads. In India's cleanest city, people cannot get clean water.
बच्चा नहीं रहा सर।
क्या हुआ था बच्चे को?
उल्टी दस्त हुए थे सर।
In India's capital, when New Delhi is hosting India Open Super 750 badminton tournament, the sorry state of sports infrastructure is on display. Not one, but 2 matches had to be halted due to pigeon droppings falling onto the court. Broken chairs in stadium, filthy washrooms, broken concrete lying around, garbage piling up, monkeys hovering, stray dogs lurking. On Saturday, this video of rats in government hospitals exposed the ground reality. It's a wake-up call. People have had enough. They want progress, real progress.
We got this, Ladies and gentlemen, we have BJP's, he's Raman Malik, he supports the BJP. Anmol Pawar, national spokesperson, Aap Tariq Khan of the Samajwadi Party. Pula Rao, political analyst. Pratibha Prahlad, socio-political commentator. Lalita Kumaramangalam, former chairperson, National Commission for Women. And Shubhra Ashta, well-known columnist and founder of The Churn. Now, first picture, I want to show one picture. I'll tell the story through pictures. There is this fellow. He's a mafia don. Full frame, please. Can we not have these 2 windows? Can I just talk simply? You got this mafia don. He's smoking. What's this fellow's name? He's some JDU guy. What's his name? Ladies and gentlemen, you recognize it? Anand Singh. Yeah, the gangster Anand Singh. Supported by the BJP, JDU. Smoking his way in and walking like, he just got a freshly creased shirt, designer dress, smoking in, dark glasses, bouquets being given to him. I mean, where is the government? Why are we allowing this? Why is this man walking in apparently to a courtroom? He's walking and smoking into a courtroom, into a hospital. What the hell is he doing in a hospital? Apparently he's a convict in custody. He's walking into a hospital, smoking, getting bouquets. I want power to the people. This is not what the people voted for, is it? If you didn't vote for this, then please call in tonight. This is too much. This is a humiliation to the people of this country. What is the BJP doing? You've got to intervene. Someone's got to stop this. Right? This is the man behind the Mokama murder. I said at that point of time he should be thrown out. There was an alternative candidate that was put in, he was arrested. Sorry, I don't think an alternative candidate was put in, he fought the elections from jail. Now he smokes around like a king. He merchant Dularchand Yadav. He walks around like a king. We did campaigns on VVIP racism, the BJP used to support us. What's happened? Ladies and gentlemen, the calls are open. The nation wants progress for the people. So, Brashta, I'd like you to open the conversation here tonight, please. Yeah.
Arnab, I wouldn't just dwell on Anand Singh because, then cases become individualized and it becomes a political slugfest. I just want to open up the discussion to basically asking that honest tax-paying citizens of this country who pay their taxes to get basic infrastructure do not get rewarded with simple things like clean air, like good government schools, like good infrastructure where you can just walk on the streets properly with pedestrian safety. And all of this happens because we have allowed our system as a whole to get away with zero accountability. So there would be roads which would be inaugurated at municipal level, at the level of MLAs, at the level of MPs, because at the end of the day, it is just about, optics. Nobody really cares if the roads are maintained or not. Because at the end of the day, I kept asking this question, I keep raising this question, I've raised this question in your earlier program as well. We really need to figure out who the contractors are. The buck cannot just stop with asking the MLAs and MPs, because at the end of the day, Arnab, after 5 years, they will always wield power like Anand Singh would. They would say that people have elected us. But who are the people who are responsible for building roads? For instance, the unfortunate incident that happened in Noida, who was the one who was actually responsible for building and maintaining it? Of course, there are cuts involved at multiple levels, right from bureaucracy to the politicians. I'm not absolving anybody in the system of the crime that's just happened, that continues to happen. Sometimes it gets national attention, sometimes it does not. And Arnab, sorry for me being so all over the place, because at the end of the day, citizens' unease is all over the place. Where do we begin and where do we end from?
No, the simple question people are asking tonight, Subrashta, is this, that there is no opposition. There is no opposition at an all India level. There is no alternative. There is Tino and Tina. And on the ground, this makes the citizen feel even more worried. There is Tino and Tina, no opposition, no alternative. BJP is becoming stronger and stronger. And an Air India plane flies without a license. And a 27-year-old techie drives his car in fog into a ditch and dies. The government could have done something, right? A plane crashes, people die. The blame is put on pilots 1 year later. I'm not being cynical. Let me tell you, I'm not a cynic. I'm optimistic, but I was so frustrated when I saw, after all the things we're talking about, sports, cricket, when those pictures of the monkeys at the International Badminton Tournament, there's no accountability anymore in our system. We're told, be happy, you got this much $1 billion investment, you got 100 unicorns, you got Swiggy making a lot of money, right? You got Make My Trip making a lot of money, you got the digital guys making money. We'll be told, have you forgotten that there are apartments in Gurgaon that are selling for 100 crore rupees? Why are you complaining? Do people in India not have money? Is there no development? We have apartments selling for 150 crore rupees. We have development, we are told, but monkeys are still going around the stadium. And you want me to discuss Greenland? You want me to discuss Venezuela? You want me to discuss Iran? You want me to discuss who's going to be the BJP president? No, there's somewhere people are like, what's going on? You got the worst AQI on planet Earth. Monkeys are roaming around international sports venues. A 15-year-old boy died because a rusted iron pole fell on him while he was trying to score into the basketball hoop. He just died. He just died. And there was no wake-up call. There was no accountability. There was no statement. There was no PR because this is bad PR. Yes, look down, Raman, look down. Because you should. You should. I'm not a prophet of doom. Let me tell you, there are more people dying because of potholes today. A 74-year-old man is not BJP, Congress, DMK, I don't care less. A 74-year-old man, Pulla Rao, died in Chennai because he fell off his two-wheeler because of a pothole. The local police, they put the responsibility on the National Highway Department. No, but people what's that?
So the department
Pulla.
Work or the chief ministers come,
Yes, Raman?
come and put the pothole right.
What?
I said, should the chief minister come and repair each pothole?
We're going to open this up to everyone, please, on the screen. Oh, so should the great chief minister repair the pothole for the poor Aam Aadmi? That's the question you're asking.
Yes.
Well, that's your...
Look at the tone, look at the tone, look at the tone.
Support, but that is not what you're looking for.
Of any state.
The main thing that you should be talking about, and I'm happy that you are raising these issues, Arnab, because at the end of the day, when the top level of the government is getting out of the corruptive mode set by 70 years presidents, then yes, the government should also put a heavy hand onto the executive, which is supposed to go on and implement the issues and the laws created by the legislature. And that basic ethos of working right is not there in India, and let's accept it, that we have got corrupted in the way we address to issues. We have never fulfilled our duties. And if today one Arnab Goswami is fulfilling his duties, there will be people talking about him. That
I'm not saying anything. One minute.
Oh, he may have gone.
No. I don't think in one Arnab Goswami is speaking. Let me tell you tonight. Let me tell you, Raman, listen. I've always believed.
He's just talking righteousness. He's not talking, Arnab Goswami is not talking any partisan. He's talking righteousness, and that is where the problem is, Arnab. Let's discuss the problem. Where is the righteousness of each officer? Where is the ATS? Why are you not talking about ATS dumping these things? Why are you not talking about the SIT immediately formed by Yogi Adityanath? Why do you not talk about CEO being taken off right immediately?
Because a big deal was made by the media.
The legislative work that they have to do, they are doing it.
Arnab, can I answer?
But the executive work is where the problem of India is.
No, I'd ask you this now. I'll run the visual. I know it's ghastly. I will show only this visual which is on now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you tonight one question. Because so many people over the last 1 month say, Arnab, are you criticizing the government? Are you? We're going to make a meme on it. I can say, YouTubers, do what the hell you want. Because I have the data, I'll put the reporters. The question is this, that I'm not here to embarrass the government, but I have to show them a mirror. हम बोल रहे हैं कि हमारे यहाँ foreign direct investment in healthcare is going up, foreign companies are coming, buying hospital chains, making thousands of crores. Good, very good. But when there are so many rats in the government hospitals, I don't know how our politicians sleep. Simple. This is a question, and the visual out here is from Gonda, by the way, Lalita Kumaramangalam. But in September, there was an incident where there were 2 girls, just newborn, and they were bitten by rats. The problem is, if there had been a shake-up when the 2 girls were bitten by rats just after being born, then this would not have happened in Gonda. In Gonda, rats are roaming like they own the hospital ward. What will people do? What will people do? And I think
I have a point to make here which
Lalita?
is controversial.
Yes, which is?
Every government, regardless of which party is in power, has to be made accountable.
Yes.
Who is to make them accountable? We. As citizens, we have spent crores on talking about stray dogs. Why don't we talk about the rats that bite these babies that have just been born also? I'm not saying forget the stray dogs. I'm saying that we have myriad problems. Why do we always concentrate only on one? go after everybody, regardless of party, regardless of age, regardless of a caste, creed, etc., etc. But we don't. As citizens, why are we so afraid of going after those in power? If enough of us get together and do it, those in power will sit up and take notice. But we don't do it. Most of us are in some way or the other.
I would like to ask a question.
I don't want to use the
Arnab
word
today.
scared or frightened or intimidated.
I would like to ask her a question.
Yeah, run the visuals.
Yes,
The
please
question
do.
Both
is very
sides.
simple,
Suhail has
Mr.
joined.
Kumar
If Arnab allows it, this
when
is
you
his
were
show.
when you were the NCW chief, were you able to control each and every officer which came under your ambit? No. You were not able to control each and every officer. And that is why
It doesn't matter if I'm able to
hit the nail on the
Sir,
head.
I'm not
Why are
talking
we-
about control. I'm talking about questioning. This is not about control.
Controlling means making
This is
them
about
do their work
questioning.
diligently.
And as NCW chairperson,
Making
one
them
doesn't
do
have
their
really
work
very many
diligently,
statutory powers.
responsibly.
But that's besides
The
the
problem
point.
is that the officers do
Yes,
not work
questions
responsibly.
were asked. But we did...
They
One
take a
minute,
salary and they
when you
bloody
ask
well
a
do
question,
their work
please
and
have
they're
the
not
patience
doing their
to-
work.
to
And that is
listen
where
to
the problem
answer.
Allow
Why
me.
don't we question them even more?
Allow
As
me.
NCW chairperson, as far as my powers went, I questioned. But my powers were not that great. Let me tell you, the NCW chairperson is, I mean, it sounds very bad when I say it so bluntly.
It's a recommendatory role, I know.
And the public knows about or thinks she has.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So that's not the point. The point is that everybody, regardless, should be held responsible.
At least you had
This
a chair
country
with-
is
No,
Had a chair.
Just a minute, just a minute.
My friend, my relative, my this,
Yeah.
my that.
At least some power was there.
Why don't we
No,
question people?
I would just like to put to test.
And that is what I'm talking about.
I would like to put to test my thesis that in India today there is less value for human life when the cameras are not rolling. When the cameras are rolling, we all want to say there is great concern for human life. Yes, there is. But when the cameras are not rolling, why are there so many rats in government hospitals? Why is a 15-year-old boy, national level player, dying under a broken basketball hoop? Why are monkeys roaming around in international tournaments? Why is a plane flying without a license? Why are children dying because toilet water has been mixed up with drinking water? Why are 3,000 people vomiting and falling sick because the public toilet water is mixed up with the main drinking water pipeline? Why is a newborn's body left behind in the OT during an emergency evacuation and gets charred in the Sanjay Gandhi Memorial Hospital? Why do so many people die because of cough syrup deaths? Right? Why are the public being electrocuted during every instance of waterlogging in Kolkata? Why did 1,700 crore worth bridge suddenly break into two? Why did a 45-year-old cab driver die when an iron beam support beam over him fall because there was a little bit of rain? Why, ladies and gentlemen, are all these things happening? And I can go on and on and on. The latest incident, Sohail, in Delhi, Greater Noida, and Greater Noida is part of NCR. This is a place where the property rates are rising. People live in luxurious apartment blocks. It's part of India's urbanization story. A 27-year-old dies by falling into a ditch. He calls his father, saying, "Father, I don't want to die. My car has fallen into a ditch. Father, save me." Father rushes. The boy's body is found at 4:30 in the morning. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I want to ask the people whether a 4 trillion economy, 8% growth is worth it. If this is how people face emergencies, if this is how people's lives are risked, at some point people will ask, Sohail. Am I wrong? People will ask. I want the trickle-down effect to be faster.
If you remember, I raised the issue about Gurugram in July last year, where I said that it is an absolute shame the way Naib Singh Saini and his colleagues are running Gurugram, and Haryana for that matter. And I think they are belying and decrying the vision of the Prime Minister. What kind of India are you talking about when you don't care for the average Indian?
Yeah.
What kind of Indian economy will you tom-tom when you don't have basic infrastructure working, when there's passing of the buck, when there's passing the pillow, and there is zero accountability? And you know
Zero.
Life in India is cheap because these people have only one concern: elections. They don't care for the people. They never have, they never will, until and unless the people make them accountable. But the people, as the lady very rightly said, the people are scared because of intimidation. People are worried. And I will also say, there is a different set of citizenry which breaks the law, which makes these people unaccountable and allow them to get away. So I have zero hope in this system changing in a hurry until and unless the Prime Minister cracks the whip on certain states, especially the ones that are run and ruled by the BJP. You saw what Rekha Gupta did, moving the broom where people were throwing garbage for her to move the broom. I mean, what kind of optics are we becoming a nation of? You know, we abused the Aam Aadmi Party when they were in power. You think anything is different here? Look at what's happening with Gurugram. Day in and day out, we are shaming them on Twitter, but the thick skin of theirs does not even allow for shame to permeate. What kind of a nation are you building? The Prime Minister is working 18 hours a day to talk about brand India when the average Indian does not even have the luxury of leading a safe, dignified, decent life. Surrounded by garbage, surrounded by rodents, people falling into ditches and dying, no action being taken. What will you do? You saw what happened with the fire in Goa. What happened? There was a lot of a hullabaloo thanks to the media. But how long will the media be the only valiant soldier? Why do the courts not take this suo motu? Why do the courts not summon the chief secretary of these states and give them hell? When the Aam Aadmi Party was in Delhi, you blamed those chaps for pollution. Today, Aam Aadmi Party is in Punjab, BJP is in Delhi, in Haryana. Who do you blame? Now let me tell you about Bernard Shaw. When whales fight, shrimps are eaten. We are the shrimps. We are the people who will constantly be thwarted in our desire to lead a normal life. And I totally agree with you, Arnab. It is the ghettoization of India that we should be worried about. Our urban infrastructure sucks. Our roads are a mess. We keep talking about highways and expressways. People are dying on those goddamn expressways and highways because you have no measure of policing. People are coming on the wrong side of the road. Who are you going to blame? And there I must say the citizen is equally accountable. The citizen believes he or she can get away based on the amount of money they have. So, stop blaming the government alone. We should also introspect, but at the same time, the government's job is to govern. The government's job is not to pass the blame onto the citizen. I mean, I'm giving you examples which are within the NCR. Noida in the NCR. Delhi in the NCR. Gurugram in the NCR. You can't manage these places. And you're talking about Viksit Bharat 2047. What kind of a Bharat do you want? Do you want a Bharat where people die because the road infrastructure is perilous? Do you want a Bharat where people die of electrocution in flooded waters? Don't these people know that there's a monsoon every year? And yet, there is no care. You talk to an IS officer, you talk to a bureaucrat, you talk to someone, they say, what can we do?
Please let me ask something. Let me ask something to you. Mr. Seth, please. You have made a few of very good points. I really appreciate. But there is no one, there is no one to respond because there is no BJP. There is no BJP. Why BJP are not sending their representatives? जो हिंदू मुसलमान के डिबेट पे तुरंत
it's not only the BJP, it's हमारे सब
why BJP official
make it a political party
is not here.
It's a governance
My simple part is this.
Why
is it, my friend? I don't know where you're from.
But he's the national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party.
Samajwadi Party ran Uttar Pradesh into the ground and more. So please, you're not holier than thou. You're not the driven stone. So let him cast the stone who hasn't sinned. Sorry to use a biblical example to the Samajwadi Party. So please don't think कि आपके लाटू लगे, as they would say in Punjabi. everyone is complicit. Political parties have
they would
realized
like to take
that
away the
cities
taps
don't
of the
matter,
House of
that
the Chief
elections
Minister.
can be
So
won on
let's not
caste,
talk about
creed,
that.
and religion.
Responsible. And who is this system? System is a place, thing or person. Who is system?
System
Who
कौन
represents
बनाता है?
system?
डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प ने आके
Nobody
system बनाया ना,
represents
हम तो
system.
बनाते
You are the
When you
system
take-
which took away the
I'll
taps
respond
from
to
the
you.
CM
I'll
house.
respond to I'll respond to the person who supports the BJP.
Arey, you took
He
away
said-
the taps from the
he said-
from
he
the Chief
said
Minister's
that
house.
CM will
क्या
come
बातें करते
and
हैं?
fix everything.
Boss,
Yes.
you speak a bit slowly
Yes.
because your words are being eaten by
CM
yourself.
should go to Gonda. CM should go to Gonda and ask this rat.
I would like to. I'd like to see
request
everything.
you, rat, please
Okay,
go.
okay. 1 minute. Let's.
One minute.
1 minute. To Tariq Khan. Tariq Khan. Let me. 1 minute. Raman. 1 minute. Let me get. There are 3 panelists who have not spoken, including Pratibha, including Anmol, and including Pularao. See, I am only asking a basic question here today. I believe in the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let me make a point here today.
Absolutely.
I want to be very unambiguous about it. We need a strong government, given the global headwinds which we face. But we need to ask ourselves 3 or 4 basic questions. One, has corruption stopped? It's not enough if corruption stops at the higher levels. Has corruption stopped? Has tax terrorism stopped? Has bribery stopped? Has government hospitals infrastructure improved? Has public infrastructure beyond airports and visible signs like national highways genuinely improved? Now, if we don't ask these questions, we don't become better nationalists. I think we become anti-national by not asking these questions, by not sticking our neck out. The problem is, Anmol and Pratibha and Pulla, that things have gone a bit too far of late. And people are asking questions. Why are monkeys there in stadiums? Who's responsible? You can't blame Prime Minister Modi for it. No, Anmol, 1 second. But at some level, is the fear of doing something that will embarrass the country or trouble the people gone away? Is there a feeling that some part of the bureaucracy is taken over, they will do what the hell they want? People can complain what they want. Now today I know that I'm told CEO of Noida Authority and all has been sacked. But I'm saying on a daily basis, it's not about one place, not about Noida. It's not about one place. Somewhere, people are being ignored and taken for granted. People are being taken for granted.
Can I come in?
Yes, Pulla?
Okay, first of all, I don't think it goes well in saying all the people are involved, all the people are accountable. They're not. The rulers are accountable. How can you take an ordinary person and say you are responsible? Elections, yes, you know the election system is so based on a party system.
Are you not seeing what's the rats? Show the pictures, no? No, are you not seeing? Are you not seeing what's happening around you? Did you not see what happened around you?
Everywhere, what they gather, definitely there has to be a name. A good prime minister must be a good butcher. Harold Macmillan, you know it, Mr. Seth knows it. He had to sack people. A good chief minister should sack people. Not one minister has been sacked in the last how many years? They may have been sacked for sleaziness, for something like that, for saying something, but not for inefficiency. When there are monkeys in a sports stadium, Mr. Seth, should not the concerned minister...
I can't understand a word. It's not clear.
When there is 1,000...
The audio, sir, the audio is not clear.
I kept quiet.
He's saying the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister must start sacking people.
So... That's sacking people.
That's what he's saying.
Why
should they not sack anyone?
So Stalin should have taken away the head of his son.
In India, you can't.
Stalin must have taken away the
sports minister. Sack the roads minister.
Why did Stalin not take away the head of his son for calling and taking out anti-Hindu statements?
He has to act statements.
Why did Stalin not take away the head of his son?
It has to be removed. No, mercilessly. A nation of 145 crores. You have
Why did Stalin not sack Udayanidhi Stalin?
One more sentence.
Numbers.
One more sentence.
YouTube.
Now what are the...
Oh, we are going to open up calls now, please. Let's get Pratibha also in the debate.
Stalin not sack Udayanidhi?
Well, anyway, I think that...
Don't give gyan here.
No, I'm not giving... Nobody's giving gyan. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Listen. And
no, I'm talking about Fulla. Why he cannot talk a word about
Fulla.
We heard you respectfully. We heard you respectfully.
Pulla, not Fulla, and you are full of pompousness. One second.
The corrupt fellows.
My question here tonight, I want to get Pratibha also into the debate. Please see what's been going on of late and think if I am being a cynic or I'm asking myself, 11 people died, 50 were injured outside the Chinnaswamy Stadium. What happened? Siddaramaiah and DK were felicitating, taking pictures. What happened? What happened in Kolkata? What happened in the Pune Porsche case? What happened in in Madhya Pradesh? How much of the state budget is used on subsidies? You are taking taxpayer money and giving it on not going to have the money left. You see, Sohail, there's a different problem. You're taking a large part of taxpayer money and giving it to subsidies. Honest reply from BJP governments today that they have fallen prey to this subsidy system. Who is going to build the roads? Who is going to improve the street lighting? Recently, I spoke to someone, they do street lighting. They say, we don't want to do street lighting for governments, the contractors say. I said, why? The government is never going to pay us. I said, why is the government not going to pay you? No, I'm not. Why is the government not going to pay you? They say, sir, the government bureaucrat...
in Gurugram than functioning traffic lights. That should tell you the priority of the government.
No. Please understand, Sohail, the government is giving a lot of the money for subsidies to buy votes.
Arnab and Sohail.
They're giving the money to buy votes by giving subsidies. There's going to be no money left for public infrastructure in this country. And that's when the foreign investors will come in and say, we will build the streets and the highways and the lighting. We'll do it. We will
ask him. There's one officer by the name of R.S. Bhatt. Arnab, there's one officer by the name of R.S. Bhatt in Gurugram. And that fellow is making the change happen. So if the executive starts working, change can happen.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No one is throwing the baby with the bathwater, Raman.
Anyway, but things have gone extreme, Sohail. Things have gone extreme.
All we are saying is, Raman, there has to be overarching accountability. One swallow does not a summer make.
Okay, Pratibha.
So one great officer,
Pratibha,
put him on an elephant
what are you saying here? Pratibha.
And make him go into the Republic Day parade.
Pratibha.
Sohail, may I please? Yeah. So I am dismayed because what is being projected and what we see for real, there's a huge gap between the two. And what you say, every word of what you say is the truth, Arnab, because we supported the BJP because Congress was arrogant, Congress was unresponsive to the common people's needs. And so we wanted a change and we supported BJP. And the same thing is happening here. The problem here is that there is no penalty for anybody. There are no consequences for anybody who makes a mistake. Now this construction worker, this construction builder mafia that was building that, where there was no neon lights, there were no diversion kind of, signboards, where that young boy died yesterday, they're not going to be penalized. There's no fear of penalty. There's no fear of law from anybody. I'm just going to tell you what happened to me today. I was on Safdarjung Road taking a ride towards Racecourse Road, and hundreds of cars with those police lights and those VIP lights and all they kind of overshot us on the other side of the road, on the wrong side of the road.
Precisely.
There was a cop standing over there. He was a hapless cop. He could not say anything. He just stood and looked at them because they were all these huge SUVs with all these lights flashing, and he couldn't say anything. And people were trying to ask others to move. It was not an ambulance.
So then the question goes today.
They were on the wrong side of the road. They should have been stopped and penalized, but nobody did that to them. So there is no fear of penalty. There's no fear of facing consequences.
No, I have a suggestion for the BJP. I have a suggestion for the BJP to tell its leaders to stop putting stainless steel BJP flags on their cars or BJP insignia on their cars in an attempt to frighten the traffic police and push their way through traffic. I think the BJP should tell its people to stop doing that, because I fought against VVIP racism. It's now become a culture. You put metal BJP. I'm not saying the BJP is the only party that does it, but more and more I'm seeing BJP flags, BJP metal flags. Why does the BJP not issue an instruction that that should not be allowed? Does the BJP leader want to say that I deserve better right of passage than an ordinary citizen out there? You see, this on the one side and a 27-year-old dying on the other, and rats is going to lead to an extreme reaction. I have Anmol and then I'm opening calls. Anmol.
Arnab ji, good evening. I appreciate that you raised issues which affect the life common man. And in a democracy, we know that government is of the people, for the people, and by the people. And all the issues which you raised, whether it's the dilapidated hospitals or schools, government schools, we got independence more than 70 years ago. Despite that, we are struggling for these basic amenities. There are no good government schools. There are no good government hospitals. People are not getting clean water. And we look at the situation of AQI in the national capital. It has turned into a gas chamber. So government, nothing is on the priority list of this government. And today,
it's not a this government thing. It's all governments, all parties.
Arnab ji, people reposed faith in Bharatiya Janata Party. Before elections, they claim that if two-engine government, if we have a three-engine government, then we will do wonders. Now we all can see the reality. Today, even after 12 years, this is the state of affairs of our country. Go to any state which is ruled by BJP, you will see the worsening situation of the government schools and government hospitals.
And let me tell you, my family is from Amritsar. My family is from Amritsar. Let me congratulate the Aam Aadmi Party for completely ruining Punjab. Trust me, my friend. Punjab is in ruin.
I didn't interrupt you.
So please don't take credit for ruining a great state.
Living in a hell.
I am expecting basic courtesy from you. I didn't interrupt you.
Arnab, you will be surprised if a transformer walks off. You have to call Ludhiana.
Human life has no value. Countless tragedies took place. Thousands of people lost their lives. In Morbi Bridge, 150 people died. In Manipur, 250 people died. In Mahakumbh, 70 people died. Lakhs of people are getting affected from rising pollution. Red Fort, 15 people died. 170 people died in Stampede in last 8 years. And despite that, no responsibility, no accountability. Where is the central government? Where is the central government? And this techie died today.
And all are being controlled by Arvind Kejriwal.
Fire department was present there. Noida Authority officials were present there. And despite that, imagine the plight of that father who was there for 2 hours praying them कि अपनी जिम्मेदारी निभाइए, मेरे बच्चे को बचा लीजिए. आप सोचिए उस पिता पे क्या गुजरी होगी. आप अंदाजा नहीं लगा सकते. And district magistrate who chairs the DDM.
I'd say this, that whether it is... One minute. Whether it is a 27-year-old techie who dies in Noida or a 6-month-old who dies in Indore, these are serious issues. I have Vijay Kumar calling from Pune tonight. Vijay.
Hello. Thank you, Arnab. Let me give you a little background. I am from insurance sector, and I am also a great admirer of Prime Minister Modi. But unfortunately, as everybody is saying, BJP is also becoming Congress plus ka Udo. Now let me point out this accident which happened in Pune, Porsche, where the drunken guy actually killed a couple of youngsters. Now, can you imagine the whole liability, which will be in crores of rupees, unlimited liability, will be paid by insurance companies. And who pays that money? Poor auto rickshaw.
Adityanath. Arnab, let me say this. Yogi Adityanath has just removed the CEO of Noida Authority. This is the kind of chief minister you need.
That's true.
Not a chief minister where I live, where in the state, where he's never there. Even Raman Malik has been searching for him. He's not there. Same political party. Look at the difference between a Yogi Adityanath and other chief ministers.
He's responded, so precedent is set.
This is what I mean by governance.
So President Vineet is calling from Delhi. Vineet.
Hi, Arnab. Good evening. Just wanted to give my heartfelt condolences to the father who lost his son due to the apathy of the administration. Couple of things that immediately come to my mind as a taxpayer of the country. The unfortunate incident last year of the Chief Minister of Delhi being attacked by a couple of individuals had the commissioner shunted out immediately just for an attack. Here there is a gentleman who's lost his life, a young life gone away, a father who's left alone. Is removing the CEO the only thing that can be done here, or there can be much more accountability out here? Second,
absolutely,
there was unfortunate issue with the kids young as 6 months old who lost their lives in Indore due to water contamination. And this morning I woke up to a news of 1,200 crore being spent by the government on a museum being planned for Bhopal gas strategy. So that tells us, where the inclination is and what kind of eye wash.
I agree. I think that the spending should be on public infrastructure. And then we need to be careful about the utility of the money being spent for the people. Other excesses should be put down because anyway too much money is going into political subsidies. I have Sunil from Bangalore. I am surrounded by callers this evening. Sunil.
Hi Arnab ji.
Hi Sunil.
I completely agree with what you're saying. I am from Bangalore, which is a tech capital of the world. Today in Bangalore, the government is, looking at how can we get RCB matches back to Chinnaswamy Stadium, where the stampede happened. Instead of looking at the traffic jams on national highways within the city, if I have to travel 10 kilometers in the morning, I will have to wait at least 2 hours. There are ambulances which are stuck. People are dying in ambulances. And ministers are going in zero traffic. And
I think this VVIP culture has gone up, Sunil. The tragedy is, Sunil, can I say something? I feel so bad. The BJP used to be very strongly supporting me against VVIP racism when the Congress was in power. I did a campaign. We shook things up. I think VVIP racism gone up now. Politicians are still walking past citizens in airports.
Absolutely.
Ambulances are still being blocked. Ruling party people are putting stainless steel flags and big insignia. Lal Batti culture has gone up. Small time ministers have cavalcades walk past red lights. It's worsened. It is a reality. Am I wrong, Pratibha? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all. You're absolutely on the mark.
Ask the Aam Aadmi Party.
If you remember, Arnab, right at the beginning when they came to power in 2014, BJP said that there'll be no VVIP culture.
But that's not happened. Has it, Lalita? Has it happened, Lalita? Subrashta, has it happened? Or do we have more VVIP culture today?
And Arnab, I have one point to make. You cannot aspire to become a world-class kind of a country or a world-class.
Lalita!
Forgetting that we were brought to power because the Congress had deteriorated so much.
That's the point.
Yes.
We don't become great by going to Davos. We become great by making things happen for the people. Subrashta, you've been quiet. What are you reflecting on?
No, I'm not reflecting on anything. I think every statement being spoken on this debate tonight resonates with common citizens of this country. It is absolutely true that there was a certain degree of entitlement with which the Congress conducted itself, and which is why BJP has had a head way back in 2014. I think the BJP politicians, right from the lower level to the top echelons, really need to go back to what they were.
They need to go back on the drawing board.
How they are behaving in 2024.
True.
25, 26.
Yep. I think
they have to be more sensitive to the common citizens.
Absolutely, and we are still hopeful.
I'll tell you what the problem is.
Closing.
I feel sad when in India, my India, brimming with talent, brimming with enterprise, finds its way into international newspapers where we are shamed for basic lack of sensitivity and infrastructure.
I agree, but I also feel
That's
bad.
what upsets me.
Yeah, but I also feel bad in closing. I'll say when such feedback is dealt with cynicism. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say one thing tonight. I'm an eternal optimist and a fierce nationalist. I'm not a cynic when I say that what's happening in so many areas is not good. I hope we'll make a change, but remember, viewers, to make a change, we have to raise our voice. See you tomorrow evening. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।